Game 2 on stage 2, and it concerns another two players who are newbies to the PDC Pro Tour, though we have seen them a long time. They've been stars of the Challenge Tour. They've played many Pro Tours to fill in from that system, but now they have their tour cards and are looking to kick on and make a name for themselves. If we have more of what we had from Cor Decker and Nico Springer, we're in for a very fun afternoon and a very brief afternoon as well, because that was a monstrous display from the German. It is the second highest average in UK Open history. It was rounded down a little bit from what we thought the finishing average was, 115.92, but he's second only to a Phil Taylor performance of 118.66 back in 2010. That is unbelievable company for Nico Springer to keep, and if he plays like that, he's going to be a threat to everyone. But the focus now is on Wesley, Plaisier and Cam Crabtree. Plaisier making his third appearance at the UK Open. Won a couple of games last year against Connor Scott and Hopai Puha before going down to Daniel Closer. Cam Crabtree playing for the second time. He was beaten by Bradley Brooks last year. I'm looking forward, Nico, to seeing these two players really try and kick on. We know they've got talent. We know they've been on the scene for quite a long time. They have that full-time tour opportunity now.
Yes, they do, and it's up to them how they use it. Getting ready for an event like this, it involves Pro Tour action. It involves good preparation away from the cameras and the streams and things like that. And for a day like today where you come in at round 1, 93. You've got to be ready to go all afternoon long. We should say one more thing about that average from Nico Springer, by the way.
140.
That's a UK Open Minehead record. Nobody in the history of this tournament, which has been held here since 2013, has ever done better than that. It's quite incredible. It just goes to show the depth of PDC darts right now. It's not just Littler, it's not just Humphreys, it's not just Price and the others in the Premier League who are putting these numbers in. And anybody who thinks that the standard of darts right now has gone down is misinformed.
80. Wesley require 80.
180 from Crabtree puts pressure on this 80. Well, he's stepping across to the left. That was an interesting decision from Wesley.
Double 15 for Cam.
Yes, on the first Cam.
Always full of confidence. Has made some slight changes to his throw in the last 6 to 9 months. After a consultation with a physician, he was told that he needed to stand a little bit more upright because he was constantly putting too much weight on his right hip. Seems to be working pretty well. That's his second maximum already.
Well, you've got to be confident to carry off a mustache like that. Looks like it's been drawn on in pencil.
125.
Now, when he's finished this afternoon, he can always go and have a cup of tea with Poirot.
77.
Or maybe he's part of the new series like Murder on the Orient Express and things like that. I could put Cam in a movie like that.
They are coming back in fashion, old Tashers, but when they're paired up with mullets, that's what the kids are doing anyway. And let's be honest, Crabtree is a kid. He's 21.
Yes, he's very young. And if he goes down that route, he's going to look like Cameron Smith, the famous Open Championship Australian golfer.
45.
Now, you don't want to be out of this tournament early. It's not a good feeling. But if you go out to a performance like we've just seen from Nico Springer, that is a bit of consolation, actually, because Decker didn't play badly.
No, he didn't. He averaged just short of 95. And that is a standard that at this stage of any tournament would win most games. Crabtree wants double top. Now double 10 for a 2-0 advantage, just inside.
Wesley require 130.
Gives Wesley a chance, albeit an outside chance. May only be one at the bull. First dart didn't really do him many favours. It seemed to be a blocker. And then for good measure, he drops the dart number 3.
90.
Hits the bullseye at least to leave tops.
This can be a tricky one for Cam at times because of his angle of attack. He gets past it though.
Cam Crabtree.
Great start from Cam.
To throw first. Game on.
I put it to you that in a similar way to the first match,
57.
when the draw came out, neither player will have been particularly relishing this match. It could have been easier for them.
Yes, because it is true at the UK Open that you can get a kinda draw. I'm not saying that there's an easy draw out there. There might be some people who are not in form and you think, that's a game I should win. But there are kinder draws than this. And in a strange sort of way, when you get a draw like a Plaisier or a Crabtree first game out, it helps you switch on from the off. There's no question of, will I just
95.
eke my way into round 2 or 3? You don't have that luxury with a draw like this.
First batch of games on boards 3 to 8 have now finished, so wins for Daryl Pilgrim, 6-3 against Chris Hartree. Tommy Lishman, the Flame, has beaten Kai Gotthard 6-4. Simon Stevenson,
85.
whitewashing Jules Van Dongen 6-0. Likewise, Graham Hall, beaten Tavish Dudney 6-0. Andreas Harrison, a 6-3 winner against Scott Baker. The aforementioned Alexander Merckx, the first winner here this weekend, beaten Leon Weber 6-1. In the second batch, we're close to another whitewash because Tommy Morris is 5-0 up against Adam Warner as Crabtree looks for double 18. Shifts across to double 9. And there it is, a 3-0 advantage, and more worryingly for Plaisier, a double break of throw.
You mentioned, Dan, that this is not a kind draw for either player. Well, you've got a certain Andy Barton's waiting for them in the next round. It doesn't get any easier. But Crabtree, out of the traps, maybe inspired by Nico Springer, who knows?
21.
Interesting section of the draw because it's all stipulated for the afternoon and then the famous hat
84.
comes into play a little bit later on this afternoon, post round 3. But Radek Sagansky, who has played Wesley Plaisier before in this tournament, could be waiting because later on this afternoon on this board, Sagansky will take on Benjamin Drew Royce of Denmark.
When you played in round 1, were you a one game at a time merchant, or did you look at the draw and see, I could have that, I could have that player, I could have that player?
Never looked at the draw, ever. I was fortunate a lot of the time. I was in the later stages at the better part of my career, but I actually played the very first game of the UK Open back in 2018 on this stage. And this is stunning from Cam Crabtree. Absolutely stunning.
Wesley to throw first. Game on.
Kids are all right, aren't they? Cam Crabtree averaging 109.87, which on any other day we'd be lauding, but it's the second best average we've seen today.
I suppose Cam's got no excuse to not be sharp. Development Tour action recently, Pro Tour action, qualifiers for European Tour events. It's like I always say, Dan, when you come to Minehead
56.
in late February, early March, you have no excuse not to be ready.
Yeah, both these guys have had 4 Players' Championships to play. They've had the World Masters, they've had the European Tour qualifiers. They should be in the groove already, and to be fair, Crabtree is, because, again, parallels to Nico Springer,
56.
he's qualified for 2 of the 4 European Tour events already. That's a real feather in his cap. And I did find it quite sweet, really, that both he and Owen Bates qualified for the same one. They're going to Visa, first up in Belgium. 2 best mates on tour.
I look forward to them drawing each other. I think Plaisier's trying to take the sting out of this game. This is a veteran move. Even though he's not that old, he's a 2-time world master in a different system.
40.
But I think he understands that Crabtree is having this all his own way, and Plaisier's got to do something, otherwise he's going to be out in the next 10 minutes.
100.
Did see Plaisier last year become only the 4th player to ever win a Players' Championship event without holding a tour card. Beat Josh Rock in the final in Wigan.
140.
been so much heartache over the last few years with him being so close to getting that tour card.
96.
Finally achieved his dream via the Challenge Tour last year. It's not going to plan today, although 84 would get him back in the game. He's looking at double 12. That should be a good guide. And he uses the guide to perfection. Nicely done, Wes.
To come to throw first. Game on.
He doesn't look particularly happy right now. And if Cam holds in leg 6, he'll be very displeased.
59.
But you're never safe until you're over the line. It's a great place to play here in Red's Bar.
87.
This stage is not as elevated as the main stage. And there's a lovely synergy between the stage and the fans. It's a lovely place to play.
100.
You won't get anybody complaining about playing in Red's Bar this weekend, that's for sure.
69.
There are some other games to look forward to. We've got Sebastian Białecki against Victor Tingström next. That's a battle of two other youngsters from different countries around Europe.
100.
We could see Charlie Manby on this stage, who made history last week with the highest average of the recorded era
100.
on the development tour in the last few days. 130 plus.
Yeah, that's not just the development tour, that is everything. Insane numbers. And yes, we can caveat that by saying it's first to 4 legs. Give the lad a break. That is sensational darts.
Andy missed a dart at double in that match. Could have been 133.
97.
It was 13, 10, 11 and 12, wasn't it?
Sounds more like an IP address. Another 51. Just gets confirmation from Kirk Bevins.
110.
Plaisier doesn't hit this, he's in a world of hurt. And I think he knows it now.
63.
He's got that sinking feeling because he doesn't expect Crabtree to miss.
He did seem to just shuffle around a bit awkwardly then, almost knowing that whatever he did wasn't going to be enough. Crabtree does get double 8s. He's 1 leg away from a place in round 2 and a meeting with the former Lakeside champion Andy Bartons.
140.
A few more scorelines to keep you up to date with. Andy Bolton back on tour this year. 5-0 up against the Dutchman Denny Aldekalter, first-time tour card holder. Interesting match on board 6. John Henderson and Graham Usher, 2 players who only last weekend were playing in the seniors. They're butting heads in Minehead. Paul Rowley, one of the amateur qualifiers, is 3-1 up on Karol Sedlacek. Tom Sykes, a player who a lot of people are looking at and thinking he could have a bright future in the PDC. He's currently level with Owen Roloff's 2-all. And the 9-dart hero from Alexandra Palace, Christian Kist, 3-2 down against Daniel Perry. And the winner of that game will be on stage 2 a little bit later, playing Chris Landman.
That could be a quick affair. But this game could be over quickly for different reasons because of the quality of Crabtree.
Can you recall 167?
He has 167 and 6 darts for it. Didn't even entertain the idea of the 57. He has somewhat usurped this challenge, and there's only one more thing left to do, and that's to punch his ticket to the next round.
Maturity beyond his years from Cam Crabtree. Not going for Hollywood, instead going safe, going for double 18. Now double 9. Double 9 is in. A wonderful performance from Cam Crabtree.